up, Redskins fans? Welcome to this week's Redskins Rundown. It is week number 4 of Victory Week. So we got 4 in a row, baby. We're on a hot streak. This last game was very, very close, just like against Seattle. Closer than I would have liked it to be. I mean, the Seattle game, that should not have been anywhere near that close based on the time of possession and the yardages. But this game was close pretty much the whole time. It ironically ended in a 17-15 final score, just like last week. So that's like a first in so many years. I forget the exact stat I saw, but it's in a long time that's like never happened. But to get 2 weeks in a row like that, you don't see that. If somebody put a bet on that, they're a millionaire now.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, the game started out really good. Washington scored on the first drive of the game when Heineke connected with Logan Thomas for an amazing one-handed touchdown catch.
Yeah, that was really nice. That was really nice.
That was really great to see.
Logan Thomas made a great play on it, and that was
awesome. And having him back was so great, and that's why we needed him back. I mean, I was going to mention, it's hard to talk about him. I mean, we already know he was unfortunately injured later, which I'll get more into what happened with that. But yeah, it was really nice to see him back out there, and that was a beautiful catch. And we've seen him do that a number of times before.
Yeah, he had another nice play too at one point. Like he had 3 catches for 48 yards and the touchdown in that game. So and then the week prior, I think he had 3 catches for 30 yards. So his two games back, he definitely was making an impact. But yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, you just hope that now, with John Bates starting to develop.
Yeah, he has looked good. I mean, I really hate that Logan Thomas is out again, but seeing him back, it was like that flash of like, yes.
Yeah, he's by far the most explosive tight end, but hopefully they can get Seals Jones back, and I mean, it's obviously not going to be the same, but I mean, and then Sammy Reyes is also, I mean, we'll see if he's actually going to get targeted in some games.
I feel like not, but
he has been out there blocking more in more than just special teams packages, so.
And what was nice about this, touchdown, it was Washington's second first quarter touchdown of the season. Yeah. As everyone knows, we have a hard time getting the ball going initially in games. It's kind of always been a thing. Seems like, not always, but most of the time, it seems like the second quarter goes better for us. But it's always good when we actually do get something going in the first quarter.
Right. Definitely capture that momentum early. Absolutely.
Yes. The Raiders would punt after picking up a couple initial first downs on their opening drive. They would add a 52-yard field goal right before the half to make the game 7-3. So going into the half, it was looking good. Pretty low-scoring game, but we were winning the game.
A lot of defense, yeah. And I mean,
absolutely.
Really, there was just, I mean, the Raiders weren't trying a lot of stuff downfield in that game. Obviously, we've talked about on this show earlier in the year what happened with the loss of their deep threat, Henry Ruggs. Obviously, unfortunate situation, but.
Yeah.
The new guy they signed, Deshaun Jackson, former Eagle, former Redskin, former, just about everywhere. He was like not 100%. So, I mean, he only ended up catching 1 pass for 14 yards, and that wasn't until the third quarter. So the Raiders really didn't attempt a lot of deep stuff, and then they also didn't have Waller. So, I mean, their passing game was pretty limited, which was definitely a good thing for you guys. And you guys definitely kept them hemmed up pretty well, though, and on top of that, you got Carr for a couple sacks.
Yeah, it's very surprising considering we're dealing with a lot of injuries, too. I mean, Chase Young's out. Montez Sweat is out.
Right.
I mean, Montez might be back, I think, against the Cowboys. Let's really hope so. But, now Logan Thomas is out, so it's like we're dealing with – but somehow we have this 4-game win streak. If you had asked me 4 weeks ago, given the situation, I'd be like, there's no fucking way.
No way, yeah.
But, it's starting with the Tampa Bay win that I was at. It was like, dude, that, I could not believe – and then winning again and then
they're a hot team.
It's been nice.
Short of the Miami Dolphins, you guys are like probably one of the hottest teams, and we were right there too, but we just couldn't get it done against Shit-Addle. Fucking goddamn Rainy City bitch.
You'll come back next week for sure. Absolutely.
We just got to get the Bungles. Oh man, I swear to God.
You'll have that.
If Joey Burrow deals on us, I swear to God, man.
So a little later in the game, the Raiders added a second field goal in the third quarter for the only scoring of the quarter. So It was 7-6 at that point. And then until Washington extended its lead in the fourth when Heineke threw his second touchdown pass of the night to Gibson to put Washington ahead 14-6.
Right.
So, at this point in the game, you're looking like, okay, all right, it's pretty late. Things should be good. Unfortunately, the Raiders responded with a 5-play, 75-yard touchdown drive of their own with Josh Jacobs scoring a 1-yard touchdown run after the drive, at the end of the drive.
Yeah.
The Raiders would attempt to go for 2 and tie the game, but thankfully, Derek Carr overthrew an open Bryant Edwards in the end zone, so it kept it 14-12.
Yeah.
So that was crucial.
Yeah, and you could tell that in that game, Carr, basically he always likes to go to Renfro anyway, but Renfro was targeted 10 times, caught 9 of them for 102 yards. So
yeah, I remember
you
before the game, I was like, it's going to be the Hunter Renfro show for the Raiders today.
And I mean, he was really the one getting the work. I mean, Bryan Edwards had 3 catches for 30 yards, but Foster Moreau, the backup tight end, 1 catch for 34 yards. He's the one that was filling in for Waller, but they really obviously couldn't do with him what they wanted to.
That's a good catch. If you got 34 yards on 1 catch, then that's a good one catch.
They hit him like on a deep pass up the seam, from what I remember. But yeah, Carr was 28 out of 38 for 249 yards on the season, and they put up an interesting stat. The Raiders, when Carr throws for over 300, 6-0. When Carr throws for under 300, which he threw for 249.
0-6, right?
Yeah,
I remember seeing that. Yeah. That's a crazy stat. It seems
stat.
like it's true. Like, that means they can't run the ball that well, is what that means. Like, if Derek Carr can't deliver, then they're fucked.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs did have 13 carries for 52 yards, and the Raiders' one and only touchdown. But yeah, their ground game wasn't that effective. And then Carr was their second leading rusher with 2 carries for 24 yards.
Yeah, well, to get into the worst part of this game, I mean, obviously the wins are great, but just like when we played the Buccaneers and Chase Young got hurt for the season, we now have a recurrence of that with Logan Thomas. He's only been back for 2 games, and he took a low hit, which should have been called for a personal foul at the very least, but it wasn't, and it caused him to leave the game and not return. And it was later announced he would be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because they're putting him on. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just because they're going to put him on IR, and that's the one thing with the new flexible IR rules. If you put a player on IR, then they come back, and then you have to put him on IR again, then they can't return. So.
And they initially didn't they think he had initially tore his ACL and MCL, but then it was
okay.
That was him. Yeah,
it's not as bad.
Not as bad as they thought.
He's still going to miss more than probably at least 2 months. Maybe if they make a deep playoff run, if it's something like that, maybe. But yeah, I mean, at least for the regular season, he's not going to.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but we have been doing pretty well with the backups and next man up, and so far, I mean, we're 4 games into a 4-game win streak. You can't argue with that. I mean, it sucks these players are out.
You didn't have him for 2 of those games, so I mean, they've been
so
without him.
So it might be fine, but after that, a few plays later, Taylor would be hit slightly while throwing the ball and resulting in an interception by Nate Hobbs, which this is clearly because his arm was hit. I know there's like the few Heineke haters out there. They're like, oh, he threw a pick when his arm was hit.
It shows it on the replay clearly. Like he gets rattled like as he's like releasing the ball. So yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, the Raiders take 4 minutes and 27 seconds off the clock, but could only come away with a third Daniel Carson field goal. But they would take a 15-14 lead. So at this point, I'm like shitting myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. Well, and then just real quick here before we move on and recap the end of the game. Daniel Carlson today, the Raiders kicker, signing a 4-year, $18.5 million extension. So that's big news for kickers everywhere. And he earned his money on that game. Going 3 for 3 with a long of 52, and he's been a good kicker for them all season. So. Definitely We'll have some even better kicker news here shortly to wrap up the game. But Heineke would leave Washington down the field 44 yards in 1 minute and 45 to get in position for new kicker Brian Johnson to kick a 48-yard field goal with 37 seconds left on the clock. And this would be his first kick with the team. And I'm sure all of us, given the kicking woes this season, were extremely nervous. Didn't want to watch it, but he did make the kick. But there was 37 seconds left on the clock, so we did have to hold them for a few plays. So the game was not over until the very end, but fortunately we did hold them and did win the game. So yeah, Yeah, no, that was definitely huge, and I mean, obviously not knowing what you were getting with the kicker situation, and he almost even like pulled it. Like it was good that he was able to hit it
Yeah,
in there. So
it was
yeah,
a little bit
yeah.
off, but it went
So,
in.
but
That's
yeah,
all I
yeah,
care about. It
yeah,
went in.
absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a good sign, and that's good for his confidence and everything like that. So, and
Absolutely.
he made his 2 extra points that he attempted earlier in the game. So definitely,
That's true as well.
yeah. And that,
So good news on the fourth straight win. We did also have Wes Schweitzer placed on IR with an ankle injury, which is unfortunate, adding to the list of injured players. But we do have four straight wins, and it seems like the team is clicking. So going into Dallas
yeah,
this
big
next
game,
week, which
huge
is
game.
a game I'm extremely nervous about, and we definitely need to win. We would have five straight wins, but oh man, I'm nervous. But
And
let's
these had
hopefully. But
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, and these head-to-head matchups are like a great opportunity for you guys to, deal damage to them directly, because you guys are 2 games back right now.
absolutely, absolutely, and we have to play them twice. So I mean, yeah, this I'm very nervous about this game. I want to be optimistic, but just I'm extremely nervous. I mean, I really hope we win, but
Yeah,
because we're on that 4 game win streak, it's like God, can we get five? Like that would be ridiculous.
yeah,
But
that
hopefully
would be
next week
huge.
we come back and it's victory week 5. But
Hopefully,
we will see.
absolutely. Stay tuned. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yep. See you next week.